Have you ever been home alone at night and suddenly heard strange noises? Footsteps, knocking, or even someone trying to open the door from the outside. Many people believe that when they lock their doors, nothing can get into their home. But what if the stranger still finds a way to break in? If you are watching this video at night, consider turning on the lights and locking all the windows, because these stories might make you never want to be home alone. Story 1. The Silent Intruder of Franklin Township. In 2023, the quiet suburb of Franklin Township, Indiana, feels isolated from the chaos of the outside world. Its residents pride themselves on their sense of community and safety. Carla Wilson, a dedicated teacher and longtime resident, never imagined that the safety of her home could be breached. One crisp fall night, as she slept soundly in her bedroom, a sinister force invaded her sanctuary. Unbeknownst to Carla, a figure lurked in the shadows outside her home. The intruder had stolen a garage door opener from a nearby car, gaining easy access to her home. The soft buzz of the garage door opening was masked by the ambient noise of the night, leaving Carla undisturbed. The figure moved through the house with eerie silence, walking through the dark hallways like a ghost. Carla's bedroom door creaked open, the faint sound barely audible over her steady breathing. The intruder paused, listening intently before entering. Moonlight streamed through the window, casting a pale glow over his face. His cold, calculating eyes scanned the room before settling on Carla's jewelry box on her dresser. He moved slowly, gloved hands carefully selecting the most valuable items. As he rummaged through her belongings, Carla stirred in her sleep, aware of the unfamiliar presence. The intruder stiffened, breathing shallowly as he waited for her to calm down. Moments stretched into eternity before he resumed his theft. Stuffing a delicate necklace into his pocket, he withdrew from the room as quietly as he had entered, disappearing into the night with his ill-gotten gain. The next morning, Carla awoke to find her jewelry missing. She panicked when she realized someone had entered her room while she slept. She frantically checked her home security system, hoping for answers. The footage was clear, too clear. The camera had recorded the intruder's every move, his face clearly visible as he committed the crime. Carla immediately contacted the police, her voice trembling with fear. Despite the overwhelming evidence, the police were unable to identify the intruder. He left no fingerprints, no clues to follow. Weeks turned into months, and the case went cold. The sense of security Carla once felt in her home was shattered, replaced by a lingering fear. Every night as she lay in bed, she couldn't escape the image of the intruder's cold eyes watching her as she slept. The experience left an indelible mark, a haunting reminder that even the safest places can harbor invisible dangers. If you found this horror story as chilling as I did, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more scary stories. Your support not only helps us grow, but also ensures you never miss our latest scary content. Join our community of horror fans by subscribing and hitting the notification bell, so you're always the first to experience the scares. Let's keep creating the scares. Story 2. The Stranger in Jeff's Bed. In 2017, the tranquility of rural West Virginia was shattered for Jeff D. A hard-working man, Jeff returned home after a tiring day at work, looking forward to nothing more than a quiet evening in his cozy home. His house, located in the heart of the countryside, was a haven of peace and solitude. That evening, however, as he walked through the front door, he immediately sensed something was amiss. The living room, usually neat and tidy, was in disarray. Furniture was overturned and drawers were open, their contents strewn across the floor. His heart pounded as he cautiously moved through the house, each step revealing more chaos. He called out, hoping it was just some weird prank, but the silence that greeted him was oppressive and uncomfortable. As he approached the bedroom, the sight that met his eyes made his blood run cold. There, stretched out on the bed, was a stranger, a woman disheveled and reeking of alcohol, fast asleep. The realization that an intruder had invaded his most private space was overwhelming. The woman's presence was a gross invasion of his home, and the sheer audacity of it left him momentarily paralyzed with fear and anger. He quickly called the police, his voice shaking as he described the scene. While waiting for the police to arrive, he kept an eye out for the intruder, who remained oblivious to the commotion. When the police arrived, they identified the woman as Stacy Foster, a notorious troublemaker in the area. She was drunk and had no memory of having slept with Jeff. The officers charged her with burglary and vandalism, but the damage to Jeff's sense of security was irreparable. The days that followed were filled with uncertainty. Jeff couldn't get the image of Stacy sleeping in his bed out of his mind, the invasion of his personal space haunting his every thought. He installed new locks and security cameras, hoping to regain a sense of control, but the fear remained. Every creak of the house at night made him tense, and he found himself constantly looking over his shoulder. The peacefulness of the countryside he once cherished was forever tarnished by that Jeff's home. His sanctuary had become a place of anxiety and vigilance. The invasion left him with a deep sense of vulnerability, a haunting reminder that even in the quietest corners of the world, one is never truly safe. Story 3. The Chicago Watch. In 2016, in the bustling city of Chicago, Jack and Jordan experienced a horror that would forever change their perception of safety. Living in a modest home on the city's north side, they enjoyed the vibrant energy of urban life. However, one fateful night, that energy turned sinister. The couple spent the evening watching movies, eventually falling asleep in their cozy living room. The flickering TV screen cast shadows on the walls, creating a quiet atmosphere. Sometime in the early hours, Jack suddenly woke up, a sense of inexplicable dread washing over him. As his eyes adjusted to the darkness, he noticed a figure standing at the top of the stairs. The man stood motionless, his silhouette against the dim light. Jack's heart raced as he realized the stranger was watching them sleep. Paralyzed with fear, he nudged Jordan to wake up. She stirred, her sleepy confusion quickly turning to terror as she saw the intruder. Before either of them could react, the man moved at breakneck speed down the stairs and snatched Jordan's purse from the coffee table. He fled through the front door, disappearing into the night. Trembling with fear, Jack called the police. The officers arrived quickly, and a sense of security began to return as they took statements and examined the scene. They explained that the same man had been suspected in several local burglaries, but he had always managed to escape. The days turned into weeks, and the fear gradually gave way to a cautious routine. They changed the locks and installed a security system, but the memory of that night lingered. Jack could not forget the silent, watchful presence of the intruder. Every night, when they settled in, he would check the locks and look out the window, his mind replaying the horror over and over again. The neighborhood, once comfortable and familiar, now seemed filled with invisible threats. Every stranger on the street became a potential danger, and the house that had once been their refuge became exposed and vulnerable. The experience made them realize something haunting. In a city as vast as Chicago, safety is really just an illusion. and the darkness can hide the darkest intentions. Story 4. Knife-wielding intruder in Flushing. In 2015, a local family in the vibrant neighborhood of Flushing, Queens, experienced a night of terror. Their two-story home, located on a quiet street, was a place of warmth and security. One fall night, however, an intruder turned their shelter into a nightmare. The family had settled in for the night, the parents in their room and their teenage daughter in hers. The soft noise of the city outside was a soothing lullaby. But as they slept, a sinister figure lurked in the shadows. He moved through the house with the grace of a predator, avoiding any noise that might wake the sleeping family. The light from a street lamp outside provided just enough light to get his bearings. He went to his daughter's room first, drawn by the soft glow of her charging phone. When he entered, he found her lying peacefully under the covers, completely oblivious to the danger. With practiced ease, he lifted the phone from her nightstand. But as he turned away, a floorboard creaked under his weight. The girl stirred, her eyes fluttering. For a split second, their eyes met and terror filled her. She screamed, a high-pitched wail that pierced the silence. The intruder fled, his knife glinting in the dim light as he disappeared into the night. The family woke in a panic, the girl's screams echoing throughout the house. Her parents rushed to her side, finding her shaking with fear. They called the police, who arrived quickly and reviewed the security footage. The intruder's face was clearly visible, but despite the evidence, he was never identified. The days that followed were filled with anxiety. The girl could not sleep alone, her dreams haunted by the intruder's cold eyes. The family installed additional locks and security cameras, but the sense of security they once had was shattered. Every creak and rustle in the house was a constant reminder of the night their home had been invaded. The intruder's presence remained a dark cloud over their lives, a chilling reminder that even in the bustling heart of Queens, darkness could harbor the most sinister of threats. The family's sense of security was forever changed, their home now a place of darkness that held a terrifying and permanent memory. When you are home alone, it is important to prioritize your safety. One important tip is to always lock your doors and windows, even when you are home. Intruders often look for easy access points, and an unlocked door or window can be an open invitation. Make it a habit to double-check all entry points before settling in, and consider using additional security measures such as deadbolts, security cameras, and motion sensor lights. Staying vigilant and making sure your home is secure can help prevent unwanted intrusions and keep you safe.